What's good? What's good, everyone? We got Man of Tomorrow in the building. Thanks for coming out, sir, and thanks to everyone else who's come out for in the chat. Um,
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Yeah, I felt after Zero's altruism stream and what everything that's happened this past week, I was like, man, I gotta do this. I gotta show how the culture is it's like these Israelites in Exodus. Uh, Moses leads them out of slavery, but they want to go back no matter what. Um, Nothing is good enough. They don't want to actually learn how to work and provide for themselves. They want it given to them. They want welfare spiritually as well as practically in their everyday lives. Uh, these spiritual welfare niggas are the same welfare niggas out here in real life.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
yeah,
agree, man. And it's like what they don't understand is they're going to perpetuate their power, no matter what it is. They're going to perpetuate what gives them power because it isn't what you chase. It's the
right.
first thing that you spend it on, and it's the thing you consistently brag about that
Yeah,
betrays the entire purpose of your actual being here. And they think that they're so slick for some reason. So
yeah. Yeah, they do. And you got so many and the culture is willing to buy in to being this way. A show that they don't want to actually do the work, they don't want to improve because it's much easier to just let other people do it for you, which is why even though they try and use the Bible and God to to manipulate weaker minded and ignorant people. But the information here shows that he requires work from you. He requires a track record to actually show that you are with him. You're not just saying.
yeah,
So why wouldn't we do the same?
yeah, it's like what people don't understand. There are people who can go to school and get a degree in Christian studies and they not be a part of Christianity. That's the only thing that you're doing when you're showing your teachings of whatever doctrine that they're trying to stand behind in order to push
Right,
their point of view out there. That everybody else can clearly look at the same information and clearly see that you're full of it. Depends
right.
on what you spend it on.
Exactly. Yeah, anybody that wants to see it, they can see it. But you have so many people because of the simple fact that they don't want to actually do the effort. They don't want to put in the work of actually trying to make a better life for themselves, trying to do things the productive way. They ignore that shit straight out right. It's like, nah, forget that. Fuck this shit. I,
I
I
mean, but
want y'all
there's
to
so
bring it.
much freedom. There's so much freedom in not defining oneself within the environment.
Well, there's less work.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is. It's not freedom, but it's less work. And that's what they're trying to get away from. They're trying to get away from the work, but reap the benefits of it. I mean, and who does that shit? Women. They're
Yeah.
essentially being women, man. I mean, it's simple as that.
Now, one
Uh,
play conservative, but they depend on a free environment and non-structured part of stuff kind of take place.
right. Yeah, yeah, true. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because and you find and you hear that you a lot of males that were involved in the church, and that you find here, you learn that they're like, dang, I realized that a lot of my views and how I view things, how they should be, are actually conservative, but I'm not living that way. I'm not practicing it. I'm not showing it with my everyday life. So you begin to see that, you know, you're saying one thing, but you're living an actual another way. Yeah. I mean, but it just seems to be the condition of the culture, and they don't want to break away from it. They want to stay in it. So that's why, you know, hey, I'm like, hey, well, let's get these old take these old ship liners, all these old cruise ships that, you know, instead of breaking them down, let's patch them up, put all these unproductive, these cancerous people on it. Uh, Give them a couple buckets of worms for each level, rods and reels with and whatever, and just this initial stuff they need. Throw them out there in water world, baby, and let them work for it. They can bring back what they've caught to work their way back into society, and also work to change this mindset, to where they still must continue to have that track record to show to be productive for society. Like Zero says all the time, it takes extremes to fight an extreme situation. MOT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh
most of the
man.
people also don't understand. They're conservative, but they are hell bent on staying around non-traditional, so-called liberal women.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
so conservative though. So
Yeah.
conservative.
They're supposed to be. Yeah, they're supposed to be. Yeah. Oh man, it does show how you know that track record doesn't line up. They're the fifth centers, and I did a stream before on what the Almighty in the very book that they're supposed to read, that they proclaim to live their life by, what it says He does with fifth centers. No, y'all, you ain't with me. You with them people over there. And you'll get what those people get. But we all know there's so many people that treat this like the buffet line. They go through and look, hey, yeah, I want some of that right there. No, I'm not feeling it right there. I don't want to eat that. But nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. And
They want to go right up to the ice cream machine in the salad bar.
yeah.
Knowing damn well that's the smallest part of the buffet for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know, it's funny because, you know, they try and portray this, but you see how they really are, and then they have smoke, they have anger, emotional issues towards people. They're like, nah, you got to show me this track record. If God requires this of you, it only makes sense for me to require the same thing. But they don't like this shit because it exposes their duplicitous nature. Man, but yeah, and for me, you know, it's like, man, I'm done with, man. We got to get rid of these people. They're not my people. These other folks, they can claim if they want to. They can be your people, but they're not mine. You can take them with you and do whatever. But you know, I'm not here to save them. Um, they don't want that. They want you to do the work and reap the benefits from it. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, you know, they can end up like them folks in Sodom and Gomorrah.
You know what? Genghis Khan had it right.
Mm.
If he was ever defeated and his people deserted, he came out with a bigger army only to want to destroy traitors. They
Yes.
killed the people in the cities.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
guess what? And if you gave up your leader because you wanted to dodge getting destroyed, he would destroy you anyway because you did it without principle.
Yes. Exactly.
My man.
Exactly. Yes. You know, that, you know, it's pretty much, it makes me think about Naruto and the principle that Kakashi was teaching his team early on. You know, one who abandons his mission is scum, but the individual that turns on this team is even worse than scum.
Oh yeah.
A traitor is worse, man. Yeah, because they tear down everything. They're good for nobody. They're good for nothing. They truly are a virus and a cancer to society. They eat up and destroy everything. Is another reason why I'm tired of people calling this the black community.
Oh yeah.
Black America does not need to be associated with the word community because of the simple fact a community is a symbiotic relationship where everybody working towards a goal benefits in that. Some may benefit more than others, but everyone is benefiting. It is a conglomerate, a mass of people doing their own thing. That's exactly what it is. It's not a community at all. And every time I heard it, I have to shoot that. I have to shoot that mess down every time because it is not a community at all. I'll make a dress. Yeah, collective bargaining.
Yeah. Collective bargaining.
Collective bargaining agreement. Yeah.
No. Collective recipients agreement.
Ah, yeah. Yes. Collective recipients. Yes, that is a better term. That is much better. Yeah. I do want to take this time to thank everyone for coming out and tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way in. I enjoy having conversations like this that are productive, and it goes to show how we can take this information and apply it to our everyday lives to make the best decisions that we can possibly, and surround ourselves with people of like mind. The thing is, the saying goes, true birds of a feather flock together. I'm not about lying and stealing, so I ain't finna hang out with a liar and a thief. Because I don't need it.
You either?
Yeah. My bad. Yeah. No. I know I did something that makes sense. Yeah, because I know that they're liars and thieves, so they're gonna lie and steal from me too as soon as they get the opportunity. So why I don't need them folks around me. Yeah, like I'm just gonna join the symbiotes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The conglomerate. Yeah, it has a parasitic relationship with others. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Wants to devour everything and leave nothing, and then move on to another host and do the same thing. That's the nature of the beast that we call Black America. And the other point that I wanted to bring up with this is that, man, I think it was a point that Zero had brought up about when he talked about how in society, when you have an advanced society, how things work and how people moved away from tribes. Man, look, this goes to show, look, niggas ain't cut out from society. When too many get together, all hell breaks loose. The small tribes, the small tribes are how they have to be. They are not cut out for a larger productive society, because when it happens, they are not going, in large part, they're not going to be productive. Do not have the mental conditioning to be able to break away from that mindset, from that structure, to become something productive. Yes, exactly. Yes, Black America. Yes, it is like, man, that stream that you did on that content you did on that when you had that video, the woman explaining the hyena nature and hierarchy.
Yes,
man,
yes.
That was so freaking spot on. That was great content, and it just goes to show. And here's the thing. I mean, whenever these folks they leave, I mean, people shoot down Jessica all the time. But the one thing I learned about their culture, as far as from Africa, is that, man, whenever these folks get in civilized, higher, advanced societies, they they turn into what we see as Black America, man. Them people ain't no different from what we have here. It's not that much different. So when you got these people talk about, oh man, I'm talking about the ADOS, forget them people over, man. Look, they're no different. Salute Sigma Jones. Thanks for coming up, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. I definitely wanted to jump in on this topic. Man of tomorrow, how's it going, sir?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
And not much. I definitely wanted to jump in on this topic too, because man, I tell you, the subject being niggas love bondage. I truly believe that's an understatement.
Yeah, that was the only title I was like, man, what can I come up with? Because I actually want, I actually wanted to use another word, but I was like, oh no, this shit gonna get pulled like a son of a gun if I forget. So I was like, I think this is the only word I could come up with is still have it.
Yeah, believe me. I mean, it's definitely an understatement, but it fits the same message. And the reason I say that is because, right now it's probably almost 2 years since I've kind of been a content creator here on YouTube, and many more years since I've, just been in the audience and watching and whatnot. And to me, the amount of struggle and the amount of hoops that I see a lot of these Negroes go through just for validation and just for a chance, not no actual gratification, but just the actual chance of getting noticed by females. It just like, to me, it's just like, it's like watching a cattle getting slaughtered, and that cattle could have easily overtaken, its predator and all, but it willfully just gave up the ghost and died.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why, like, the whole concept now for me, it's just like, look, I could take you to the brink of flowing water, fresh flowing water, let you know that this is safe and all. But guess what, man? If you die of thirst, that's on you. I've done my part.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I did want to come up with something else to think, but I was like, God, I think this is the only thing that I could really get away with in it.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame you. Definitely just, being on the safe side. But again, like I said, the title is an understatement.
It is.
If anybody have been in these spaces long enough, words cannot even describe how much these Negroes will put themselves through just for validation. It's very sad.
It is the cow, the conveyor belt, and the slaughterhouse.
Yes.
Now the cow freely sees he has a tag in its ear.
Yes.
And he freely sees that he's on a conveyor belt, that he's not moving. He freely sees and hears as his friends, his brethren, get chopped up and boxed up. Could easily get out of line if he or she wants, but readily chooses to stay right in line and wait their turn.
Yes. Yes, they want to be turned into hamburger meat, sausage.
Yeah.
They want to be ground up.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's exactly, Black Curls, masochists. Exactly.
Yeah. Right. They're like, look, if I go to the slaughterhouse project, I just have less to roll with. I'm like, yeah. Technically, when you die, you lose all your weight.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can travel as light as you want to.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man, yes. And that's why, man, I was like, man, what can I have for a thumbnail picture? And I was putting in different titles, looking for images, and man, when I found them old food stamps, I was like, yes, this is perfect. I was like, this is perfect, because not only does it explain the nature of the culture in a practical sense, but it explains it and shows it on that spiritual level as well, even though they're claiming to be this, but they live and show themselves that now we're actually this.
I'm just going to be honest, and I'm gonna try to keep it as politically correct as I possibly can. But certain demographics of people, I've just come to the conclusion they're just far gone.
Yes.
And the reason I can live with that reality is because, you know, I can look at it as a double-edged sword. I look at it the fact that, okay, for the rest of my living days, unfortunately, I would have some association with this particular group just based off of phenotype.
Right.
But then at the same time, knowing the truth now, it's much easier to avoid this situation and avoid those associations. So I had one individual, and this was probably earlier this year and all when the coronavirus was hitting China pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
I had some individual send me a message on a video I did asking me, so how do you feel about China treating the Africans in their country since they look just like you? And I had to pause for a minute because it's like, wait a minute. Since when have I said I've been associated with Africans? Just because we may have the same phenotype does not mean that, so to speak, your struggle is my struggle. See, the problem with these people of this group, they have this undying belief about loyalty. And I have to tell them, look, your loyalty does not guarantee your freedom.
And I think the other thing on that point you made, Sigma, is that they have an undying loyalty to the fuckery that exists in the culture for any other lack of way to put it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why, I definitely have, toned down my talks about, genetics and eugenics and everything, especially on the PC side of things. But my beliefs have not changed. Like, I strongly believe that in order for certain demographics to progress forward in this society, they got to perform some form of eugenics. And knowing these Negroes and the title, they ain't ready for those conversations.
I mean, no, we lost Preggers Rebellion, man. We lost Preggers Rebellion.
Oh man. Yeah, man. And that's the thing, I the one thing I do like about my channel is the simple fact that it's small enough. The subjects that I carry over here, the simple much, it's gonna weed out most people anyways. They're like, he over there on that Bible stuff. I can't go over there on that. But somebody who sees the actual logic that I'm bringing out from these books that you can actually use, it's gonna be like, it wants to know and see this information. They're gonna be like, oh well, dang, he got a point. He's presenting this information in a way that I never got at church. I never got here. He's showing something that we should be able to do and we should be doing. And that's what I wanted this channel to be. So I understand that, there's pretty much only going to be a certain type of people or individual that's going to come over here. It's going to listen to this type of content. And it doesn't really bother me.
Oh no, I'm with on that. To me, it's refreshing and it's music to my ears, because when you see people squirm and they retaliate, talk about how could you talk about certain subjects like that, that's when you're on the right path. Because the truth is supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to feel good.
Yes, exactly.
Good luck explaining it to them.
and I understand that me, I don't have that this soft nigga voice. So
all right. SMV,
man. so I know that whenever I say what I say, it's gonna hit hard. they gonna start crying and whining. You can't say that. How are you? I don't care. Then they really, get that confused look. And to me, I find it funny when it happens, because it's like, I know that you don't care. So why am I supposed to care about what you're feeling when all I'm trying to do is put out the truth as it actually is? I'm trying to point out the actual problem. And I'm saying, hey, if you want good water, go to this right here. But now, if you want to keep drinking that old bad water that's got everything in it, all kind of waste or whatever else keep making you sick, I tell you what, stay over there and drink it till you die. But just don't come over here complaining to me about it. Well, I done told you where the good water is.
But Isaac, here's another addendum to that. Say you get one of these people who wants to drink, different type of watering hole, and you lead them to the watering hole that you're drinking from. They will still die of thirst because somewhere in the dark corridors of their mind, they just can't handle this new truth. Yeah. And they feel that if they drink this new water, even though it will help them, even though it will provide more guidance, and obviously being water, it will refresh them, they just feel like they just can't do it. Like they have to stay loyal to that old watering hole. Yeah. And it's amazing. It's amazing to watch some of these people literally die of thirst.
Yes.
Even though you led them to a much better water, a much better lifestyle and everything, they will still die of thirst because the truth just hurts.
Yes. And, that's why I said, man, I'm going to probably do more of these on this. I guess I'll make a type of playlist concerning this, and I could go into different parts of it. But I wanted to start this here with this one because this story just goes to show that even when he let them out, and they could, it wasn't like they couldn't survive. They just had to put in effort into learning how to survive and what to do. But it's like, nope, man, where the shackles at? Let's go back. Let's go back. And the funny thing is that, if you read the story too, before that, they had been given all kind of time. If they wanted to bring the food, they could have packed everything the night before, had it prepped and ready, and had something. But they didn't do it.
I'm just gonna be honest. When I read those stories like that, and a part of me just look at it from an outsider point of view, I have to tell myself, like, sometimes, like, literally, I sometimes just have to look up to the sky and, like, why did you create such people to be this way? I want to say something else, but I don't want to get your channel flagged.
The thing. No, you good. Hey, look, Sigma Jones, here's the thing. Man, these people weren't crazy. They chose this. They chose this. This is where I go from, hey, look, you got all, I've said it before, the Bible, it is a lineage book of stories associated with this particular lineage. It is material for you to be able to learn from. Man, look, they don't want to learn. They want to keep going to the same old infested watering hole, called, a cesspool, and drink from it. So be it. I'm the type, hey, you know what? Some people that I brought up in church one time. Well, it was Bible study when I was going. And somebody, I can't remember. I think it might have been the pastor. My cousin brought up the simple fact of, this woman, she going through whatever, and she done got a black eye. I said, look, y'all can say what y'all want to. I said, but this is what I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell her to go back and have the other one. That way she'll be matching. And they said, they bust out laughing because they know that I'm going to say what I think is real. I was like, what I'm gonna go tell her not to go back for? She obviously been in this. She let it get her. This is what she wants. So I'm gonna tell her, hey, look, go back. That way you'll have that way both your eyes are matched. Girl, you want this man, you love him, go back to him, girl, go get your man. I said, I'm just interested in seeing if reverse psychology will work if I tell her this. And they bust out, they said, ah, man, you what? I said, look, I said, what am I gonna tell her not to do it for? She want to do it anyway.
Oh yeah. Actually, it kind of reminds me when there was one particular Bible study a long time ago where they were talking about, they tried to reference how, God loves everybody and we shouldn't be attacking one another and everything. So I just randomly just asked the question to the person teaching Bible study. It's like, you do know that God himself was a eugenist. You do know, right?
Right.
And he was like, well, what do you mean by that? It's like, just look at the evidence. The flood, Sodom and Gomorrah, the Amalekites, and even within Israel, when they got out of Egypt and they started acting up. God himself only wants certain traits from people to still go on.
Right.
He himself, there's just certain people that they just should not be passing on their genetics. And when I said that, I officially became the black sheep. But I was cool. With it because I knew right there, it's like, yeah, it's a hard truth that even in your own Bible, you will gloss over that truth. Because you know for a fact, if God himself is a eugenist and y'all supposed to be God-like, or better yet, Christ-like, then you also have to have that same mindset too. But
well, here's the thing. It forces them, when you accept that, it forces them to admit what side they're actually on. They want to ride the fence, but in there, it says everywhere there is no fence sitters. I mean, when you look at Matthew, I believe it's chapter 24 and verse 6, or vice versa, where there's verse 6 and where there's chapter 6 and verse 24, where he says, no one can serve two masters. Either you serve one and hate the despise the other. I mean, or I'd have to read it. I have to look at it.
Yeah, you would love one and despise the other.
Exactly.
No in between.
Right. No one who serves mammon, which people attribute it only to money, but it's not. When you read it, it's not just talking about money. Anything, when it talks about a spiritual sense, anything that you value more than God or your relationship with God, whether it be your purpose or whatever he has you to do, anything you value more than that is considered mammon or money. And it's not anything of God. So that's the gist of it. Anything like that is not of him or about what he wants you to be. I mean, hey, you on the other side, you an enemy. And he spares no enemies.
No. And believe me, even when it comes to your own children,
yes,
if they do not abide by the law, they're supposed to be dealt with.
Exactly.
But that's going down the rabbit hole, because it just amazed me that even in today's time, look as reference of today, and in particular with this past election and all, you just have people that they will, a candidate that they deem is, so to speak, the second coming of Satan or Adolf Hitler in the making.
Yeah.
They will go out of their way to make sure that individual must be removed from the White House, that must be removed from office. But yet and still, the person that they replace him with has more of an egregious record. And I'm talking about, this is public information.
Yes.
That anybody can go and read up about it. The man that they replaced him with has such an egregious record towards your people and have made it known how he feels about your people, yet you're willing to put him back into power. Check this out. Put him back into power just to get rid of a person who really does not have a track record like that. That the only way to explain that type of thinking is you have to understand that this is a group of people that there needs to be some modifications within this group.
Man, hey, look, and I'm gonna be honest. There's only one modification. You got to get rid of them. I mean, that's why I say, MOT has his bunk bed policy. I say, look, take these old ship liners. Don't destroy them. Don't let them sink. Patch them up. It'd be cheaper to patch them up. Load all these people up on it. Give them 2 buckets of bait for each level. Rods, reels. Give them some of different textile density to where they can catch big fish, sharks, even give them 1 cage, and regular harpoons, not a gun, but just a harpoon where they can just stab at it, and they have to earn their way for anything else that they want from society. They got to bring all this fish, sharks, whatever it is, all this wildlife from the sea. They got to bring it back and trade with it for water and whatever else, and let them earn their way. And the folks that don't want to earn their way, you know what? The people on the ship going, hey, look, that's good shark bait right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey, the sharks got to eat too.
Yeah, they got to eat too. So why we gonna sacrifice the people that are providing something for said tribe? We can sacrifice the people that ain't trying to do nothing for the tribe. If you sucking up oxygen, you're wasting resources here. If you taking up a bait, you wasting resources. Let's go ahead and let them be shark bait. That way we can get something productive that we can use for our society.
And I'm glad you brought this up real quick. So I actually had this conversation with some of these people, and they were all talking about this with slavery and how they need to be paid back for the amount of work they did for America. And I said, okay, let me ask y'all this. So you do know that America, we owe trillions of dollars in debt to China. Now, if China decides they're going to call back on their debt, and they negotiate with the US, and they decide that the only way that the US can help to pay off that debt is through indentured servitude.
Ooh.
Who do you think is going to be the first group to go?
Yeah.
Silence. Crickets and silence.
Yeah. And that thing, and the thing is, they could actually, when you hold these bras to a different standard, they own up over 80% of the college debt.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they could pay it off right there. If they wanted to tax something, start taxing these women for basically doing, prostitution now. To make a tax off all these women, getting all this free money from all these suckers around here. Hey, look, you getting all this extra money around here like this. Hey, look, we recording all this. We gonna put in numbers on it. You had such and such pound of light bill. Hey, look, we need a certain percentage of that. We gonna get out of this debt right here with that. Man, you realize all the money they can bring in taxing that? Oh my gosh.
You're right, sir. You are right. And that's why I said it's like, y'all better be careful when talking about these reparations stuff, because believe me, there are bigger things going on that you better hope and pray that your form of reparation is not getting back into indentured servitude.
Hey, you know what? Here's the thing on that reparations thing. I'm gonna tell you, this is what they really think. Hey, look, man, we gave y'all women all kind of jobs. There go your reparations.
Yeah. that and to the males and all. Look, you got access to other groups of women, and you don't have to worry about being lynched.
Yeah, that's it, Black Girls. The women do drain so much money from America Dude, I mean, people only think about welfare in the sense of, food stamps, that type of stuff. But there's so much money that is allowed to them to just be had. That and here's the other thing that people choose to, or they can't fathom it. They don't have the capacity to understand. The women outnumber at a percent of 53%. So if the welfare is going to the largest populated gender, and then you have to take into account for the fact that men, for crimes, prisons, all that stuff, they get locked up harsher. They're longer for the same crimes that women do. So there's more of them locked up. So that drops that percentage of men that are going to have to pay in from 47 to even more. Then you're not even counting the fact the ones that are still out here that just don't even have taxable jobs. So you can't. I mean, you're essentially paying in to a debt that you can't really you can't cover it. So that's why you look back 10 years ago, was it, when they started complaining and talking about that the Social Security deal, that money was being drained. Then next thing you know, you look up for before Trump got in, one of the biggest things they were talking about the healthcare with the veterans. So they're pulling money, they're taking money from that to pay for it. So what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next is hey, all this Medicare and Medicaid, these old people getting their money gonna be reduced to try and pay for it. So now so all these old women, they signing on for their own destruction there to try and keep something that is not benefiting them in the long run. But hey, it is what it is. If you want that, hey, so be it.
Yeah, that's just how I see it. It's like, hey, we live in a reality where you have free reign, and your God or creator, whoever, they have given you the mindset and ability that you can make whatever you want of your reality. It's just that you need to be prepared for whatever consequences that come from that reality. And to me, that's just something to where I think consequences is amazing how consequences is only talked about after a decision has been made, or after a certain action has been taken into place. And even though that consequence may happen later on down the road, or it accumulates over time, all of a sudden when it does happen, then you have individuals that want to act like, oh, I didn't see it coming. Right. Oh, I didn't expect this to happen. Oh, go ahead.
You know what, Sigma? I think for the majority, they don't see it coming. I don't think they have the mental capacity to even think that far ahead, to be honest.
You know what?
I think you're giving them too much credit.
You know what? I'm just going to be honest. Now that I'm rethinking it over, yeah, I have to agree. I think they just do not have that capacity to really have foresight, to really evaluate situations, even situations from other folks and their circumstances, to evaluate that and say, probably be best I don't follow in that same path. But
right.
You know what? When you have a demographic that truly believes that, so to speak, if you just pray about it and you just give it to God and everything, like I did a video not too long ago where I literally talk about the dangers of hope, and how you have so many people that their whole identity is based off of hope. And in particular, when it comes down to Black folks, I have never seen a group of people in this day and age where literally the air that they breathe, the water that they drink, the food they eat, whatever they do, it is all based on hope. It's amazing. to watch how those people live off of hope.
Um, it's based and they live off spiritual welfare. To be given
Yes,
something without
yes,
earning any of. I mean, and that's the thing. And the book, it shows. Hey, look, now ain't no spiritual welfare. Look, you got to show your track record. You got to show that you are this for you to be over here on my side to be a part of my people. Man of tomorrow.
Yeah, it's hard for people to do that because they look at books and they search through it for all the shit. Like like they want to nigga learn shit, right? So they were like, okay, how can I make my mistakes better? That's what they go through all information looking for. They don't look at it as information to which you practice and you stay away from. They look at it in the opposite way. Like, I could have really not died here. How do I look up the information so that way I can get closer to death? Like, this is what these people want to do, man. They want to dance on the water without getting wet. Like, that's what they want to do.
Yes,
yep,
you're
yep.
right. That's exactly what they want to do: dance on the water and not get wet. Man, I couldn't have put that better myself. But yeah, that's exactly how they think. That's exactly how they go through life. The decisions that they make constantly prove and show just that. I'm gonna go to the. I gotta run real quick. I'll be right back, fellas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's Simon John, man. I got to have you on for an interview, man, one on one.
Oh, hey, you just let me know. Usually my free time is like on the weekend, so yeah, just let me know.
Yeah.
When you like to do the one-on-one, we could definitely make a schedule for it.
Yeah, because I want to remove this because the Mansper obviously is, is this week and his funeral has long been over. But,
Oh yes.
oh, yes. No, we're talking about like the anniversary death of the Mansper. But, like, yeah.
No, you read about that.
Remember that
It,
thing that could have done some good? I think it was called the Manosphere, wasn't it? Like, that's what we had.
yeah. Uh, Honestly, and I noticed with you too that you're moving away as far as the content manager stuff because it eventually comes a point in time, excuse me, where look, we've given y'all solutions, especially the more competent brothers like you and I.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have given y'all solutions. It's on your plate now to whether you're going to take it or leave it. Us, we got bigger and better things that we got to be doing.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just time. It's just time to move the needle. It's time to make a shift to where, hey, the buffoons, the niggas and all, if they still want to go in circles about these certain topics and all, go right ahead. But the more
I'm
competent
okay with
brothers,
starting over. I'm okay with
yeah,
moving away from this. I don't really care
the
about
more
how many people come with. I don't care.
yeah, the more competent brothers, we got better topics we can talk about.
Yeah.
That's where we really at this point in time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree too.
Yeah.
I
It's,
agree.
it's, it's like, listen, if they wanted to get a big channel on YouTube, there's a couple things you can do. I'm not going to tell them what, but if you wanted to be successful at YouTube and just have numbers just to be having them, there are probably three things you could talk about within the black space that is guaranteed to get you there.
Hmm.
But I was going to make this point on another stream about the Manosphere, the post-mortem of it, and why it failed. But you have to realize this. The worst thing that can happen to a soldier is to go to war and they forget their mission while they still have to fight.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the thing is, you have these so-called warriors of the community. You know, they're supposed to be battle ready. They're supposed to be
yeah.
you know, they're supposed to be on the front lines, but yet you let one person from another race come in and just say something at random. They falter. Like yeah. That analogy you just gave, MOT, is spot on.
Right.
Yeah,
So spot on.
here's the thing. Okay, when they rolled in the trebuchets and the catapults, they normally stood way behind the army, right? Because it took a
Right.
lot of manpower to wheel them things in position to roll the rocks into place and to roll in their position. What happens when you think the catapults and the trebuchets are taking a break, and all of a sudden you see the catapults being loaded, and all of a sudden the catapults are firing onto the army that they're supposed to be supporting? That's what you're seeing here.
Ooh, yeah.
Very, very well analogy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Very well.
See, like, wait, hold on. It's supposed to be firing on them.
I'm like, I didn't know that we had to test those things out. Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like Negroes. There's a reason why, those of you that are still in prison and everything, they're not shipping you out to the front lines or to the battlefield. Yeah, y'all incompetency is so low. You would fire friendly fire on your own soldiers before you actually hit the target. That's how bad it is.
I mean, as much as I would orange drop over any country and just leave them over there, that's the answer. Don't have a military. Just load them up, orange drop. Don't give them shanks, don't give them weapons, don't give them nothing. Just let them parachute to the ground and let them destroy the entire place. And then you collect them and you drop them onto another location. Yeah.
You know what? I haven't thought of it that way. That actually be a very powerful weapon. Be like, you know what? We don't have to use guns. We don't have to use planes and everything. We're just going to drop you Negroes in these cities and just let y'all tear it up from the inside out.
Yeah. So we'll watch from satellites, and live cameras as you guys just destroy everything in sight. Yeah. So it's like, I forget which warlord, but the guy who had a thing for the elephants, like sending them, getting the elephants riled up and like sending them hurtling through the enemy's camp.
That wasn't Alexander, was it?
No, it wasn't Alexander. He didn't do anything that stupid.
Yeah,
so
I can't remember who it was. Dang.
You know what I'm talking about, because it's the same time period. I forget who it is. But I'm like, fucking elephants? I'm like...
Hannibal.
Oh. Yeah, Hannibal. Yeah, Hannibal.
That's it.
Yes, and it's like, that was his secret weapon. And he had a good army that could fight, but he was hell-bent on bringing these elephants to the battle. And the elephants ate a lot more food than actual men. So they were wasting a whole bunch of time feeding elephants rather than feeding the actual man who was on the battlefield. It was ridiculous. But the guy was hell-bent on this secret secret elephants. It's like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Man, that's something. Well, look, I gotta drop off real quick. I got some run around gotta do. But Eisen, as always, sir, thank you so much for having me on. And MOT, definitely, shoot me an email about the interview you'd like to do. We'll definitely, link up to kind of get that set up and everything. But Eisen, sir, keep doing your thing. There's a reason why you have that character as your as your mainstay. I have to say too, Eisen is definitely the best villain that I have ever witnessed, and a lot of his philosophies I actually follow in line too, but that's a subject for another day.
Yeah.
But y'all take care.
Yeah. All right, cool,
you
man.
too. Thanks for coming out, Sigma.
Yeah. So it's just that, man. I just want a different audience. That's mostly not associated with the stagnation of black men.
Yes.
Because these dudes obviously want to be led by street niggas off a cliff. I'm not gonna be present for that.
Yeah, and not just not the street niggas, but the women too.
Yeah,
both. Yeah.
Which another but a bitch ass nigga with titties. You know what I'm saying?
or if not off the cliff, straight into the meat grinder. Either or.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's nothing like like an aggressive lowering of oneself
Ooh.
into the wood chipper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much, pick your death.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
man. But yeah,
That's
I
what we
do.
are, man. It's just that you got to make people comfortable with being the only one, and it's the comfortability that is going to move people forward. Because I'm already seeing it in the kids. No one is really on that gangster shit no more. Nobody.
Right.
And it's an excellent thing for black men, younger black boys, to be experiencing the nature of true cooperation early through other cultures rather than waiting for it through what is considered to be their own, which really isn't. But yeah, man, I feel hopeful for the future. We can reach a hell of a lot more people because here's the thing: we've been trying to grow our numbers within their numbers. Now it's time to go and grow our numbers within our own numbers, not within their numbers.
Yes. Yeah. I agree completely. I
Yeah,
do. That's the thing, to make our own viable societies
yeah,
with people of like mind and of like actions. We know it's not going to be people of equal amount of productivity, but they're productive nonetheless. Like you always bring up, that competent employee is productive still. So
yeah.
somebody being that, regardless of what their title is somebody that can help the society at a whole period.
Because they got to understand that there's two things that's going to make this thing work:
Yes.
competent employees and competent management.
Yes.
Now, a competent manager can turn an incompetent employee into a competent employee, but an incompetent manager respects neither competent employee nor incompetent employee. But they will hire nothing but a competent employee to make themselves look good. And that's kind of what Black America has done.
Yeah. Yes. I do agree. I agree completely. Yeah. I didn't want to keep this too long. But man, I think we think we had a great conversation here amongst men, and to bring out what about this spiritual welfare concept, and how the same people that are welfare practically, they're the same people that are on welfare spiritually, that they want all of this magically laid in their laps without producing anything, without putting forth any effort to have appreciation for what it is they're asking for. um, um, I want to thank everyone for coming out. Man of Tomorrow, you got any last words, sir?
Now, tonight, I'm going to do a stream on why the Manosphere failed. And it's
Okay.
going to be a surprising answer to that question because I don't think it has failed. I think failure have come to the Manosphere looking for their second win. I don't think that the actual job of the Manosphere is complete. It's just that there's a lot of vacancies for leadership.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
The idea that was created by 1.0 to give a type of I guess a code or whatever, the ones after them failed in that.
correct,
And
correct.
so yeah, so the idea itself created by substantial leadership didn't fail, but the ones who took up the mantle after that, for better, I guess less and better term to say, for fuck shit, they failed everyone else after that. Yeah.
I mean, but it
Makes
was a
good sense.
deliberate strategy. It was a
Yes.
deliberate strategy.
Yes. To keep pretty much the strategy was, hey, why are you trying to change this shit? We like the way it is. Keep it.
Yeah, so it's like this. It was a loose ball fumble. He easily could have ran it to the goal line, but he tried to throw this crazy back lateral that turned into a pick six the other direction. Now, none of that needed to happen.
Yes.
Clearly, he could have just ran the ball in, but he
Yeah.
didn't want to. So that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Black Curls, yes, that is true. But yeah. Thank y'all for coming out. Yeah, and tune in to Man of Tomorrow's broadcast that he'll be having later on tonight. I know I'll be listening to it as well, even if I have sleep. But if I don't finish, I'll probably won't. I'll catch the replay on it.
Yeah.
Always great content to be brought over there. But thank y'all for coming out. Don't forget to hit the like on the way out.